It's been a rough couple of months here. How would you, looking back on that, would you have approached that a little bit differently?
Absolutely not. I approached it exactly how my value system told me to approach it. I was raised in a certain way. We're all going to have different opinions about that monument. And to me, that's what it is. It's just a monument. And it doesn't affect my life, affect my decision-making ability for the city of Wichita Falls, for my family, or my Christian values. I see it, when I say I turn a blind eye to that monument, not racism. Being a man of color, of course, I've experienced racism in my life. But I've been brought up to ignore those things. I will never fight hate with hate. MLK said it best. You can't fight hate with hate. You can't fight darkness with darkness. I've spent the last 5 years trying to knock down bricks between me and other groups, not try to put those bricks ahead of us. I've never been able to scream at somebody and get a positive reaction. So would I have changed my stance on it? Absolutely not. Would I hope that people didn't misconstrue what I said? Absolutely. Social media is a cruel beast, but it's fine. That's the world that I live in, and that's the position that I am, so I have to live with those decisions.
Okay, Mr. Hunter, first question for you,
Okay.
and I believe I have your answer already. I'd like to hear from the other candidates as well. Then
What's the
you
question?
believe that it should be left up to the voters in Wichita Falls as to what to do with the Confederate monument in front of
I
City
wouldn't
Hall
have a
and
problem
Memorial
with that.
Auditorium?
I'm not going to spend money on a special election, but I visited with James Hester right after that and was getting his point of view as a minority. And James, Jason, I'm sorry. And, when he made the observation about being ex-military and the Confederates being treasonous, I could kind of see his point of view.
Okay, Mayor?
As far as moving the monument, same thing. We're all going to have different standpoints on that. For me, there's a process for that. The citizens have a process. A lot of times I can't say, as a council of 7, we need to make that decision for all the citizens. If the citizens really feel strongly about that, I feel just like running for office. Work hard at it. If you need to go out there and get the votes, work hard just like we're doing right now. You can do petitions, you can go door to door, you can raise money towards those efforts. I'm not going to stop anybody, but people have to realize, when you sit on council, you represent all 104,000 people. That's black, white, that's male, female, Democrat, Republican, and that you can't just make a snap decision based upon one group coming in and saying this monument is racist. Snap decisions, knee-jerk decisions usually aren't the right decisions. I have to make decisions where I go home at night, put my head on my pillow and go to sleep. If I don't, and I find myself not going to sleep, maybe it wasn't the right decision. But I also think that, for us, there is a petition. There's a way to do this, and I don't think it should be up to left to 7 people to decide on the basis of 105.
How do you feel about it, Mr. Hewling?
I have to kind of agree with Mayor Stephen over here. I noticed a lot in Wichita, being a resident as well. A lot of people take to Facebook, rants and raves and stuff like that, and they'll put voice their opinion out there on social media. But the city council will hold a meeting, and you'll have 2 people show up. And to me, that's not the support that they're needing to make right decisions when they need to make those type of strong decisions. But we have to remember that we are in that elected position that we have to do what's right for the public. So if the public majority is wanting that to happen, we have to really take that into circumstances and execute those decisions as a board.
Okay,